Good evening, everybody. So 17 years ago, I changed careers and I joined the Boys and Girls Club. The same reason why entrepreneurs drop out of college, quit their own jobs, and start companies. Because I was obsessed about chasing a vision. And my vision is that I wanted my community to be a great place for all kids to grow up. I wanted my community, that is our community, to be a place where all the kids, if they work hard, can grow up and have fulfilling lives with a quality education, a fair paying job, decent housing, and the chance to raise their own family. Now, unfortunately, that's hard. That's too hard for too many students in our community. Too many of them are growing up on the outside, looking in danger of being shut out. The odds are against them. They're going to have a hard time actually accessing the incredible opportunities that exist here. But we can make a difference. But first, we have to understand the situation, the root cause. And the root cause facing these students, we believe, is the opportunity gap. And let's think about two kids who are both, let's say, attending Menlo Atherton High School. They both live in Menlo Park, just like a quarter of a mile away from each other, but separated by 8 lanes of Highway 101. And think about how different their lives are and what the trajectory is going to do for their future. For one of them, he has 2 parents who both graduated from college, and most likely one of the parents has an advanced degree. The other child has 2 parents who maybe have an 8th grade or less than a high school diploma, which is true for over half of our students. One of them went to 3 years of preschool. One of them showed up at kindergarten or even later for first time. One of them goes to enriching summer camps, after-school camps, art camps, book camps, all sorts of great learning experiences. One of them goes home and takes care of a younger sibling. One of them participates in traveling sports teams, travels around the country, has her parents as coaches, really amazing experiences. The other doesn't. One of them, at the slightest sign of any academic difficulty, has tutors show up, you know what I mean? Like the helicopters show up and the vans pull up next to the house and everybody jumps out like it's a SWAT arrest and those bees disappear. You know what I'm talking about. The others don't. One of them has parents who know how to navigate schools, and that's even a challenge. I know for myself, navigating my kids' schools, it's going to be daunting sometimes, right? But knows how to navigate schools, other kids don't, and don't know necessarily which classes their children should be taking and how to push for their child's success. One child has a safe space in his house where he can get his homework done. The other child's been moving every 6 months, being evicted due to the skyrocketing cost of rent. Currently lives in a 3-room house, sharing it with 2 other families, 3 families living in a 1 3-room house. One has the security of knowing college is paid for. There's going to be dinner on the table every night, doesn't have to work, can play on a sports team in high school, can take a free unpaid internship that he got through their mom to get a resume building summer job. The other has to work after school and weekends, and during the summer, rather than have that free internship, is working at Ducky's Car Wash right alongside with his mom. These are the stories we see. In fact, the other day I was talking to our unit director in East Palo Alto, and he told me about how a mom came to him in tears because her son was going off the rails. Her son was starting to make seriously bad decisions, not just small little ones academically, but real life-affecting ones. And her mom's a very loving woman, and she wanted to support her child, but she's a custodian, and in order to pay the rent, she had to work 2 jobs. So she's never home at night when her kid's making these bad choices. So she, as a mom, had to choose, what do I do? Do I be there for my son when he needs me? Or do I go to work so I can afford to keep a roof over our head? These are the real world in which a lot of these students are growing up, and that's what makes the opportunity gap such a challenge. Now, the good news is we're making a difference. We can solve this. At the Boys and Girls Clubs, our solution has 3 main parts. The first and most important, the foundation, is that we provide these kids with a sense of safety, a sense of belonging, a place where they can go and have positive relationships with caring and loving adults. They find a peer group. They get a sense of family. They find somebody who believes in them, someone Jeff said who bets on them, someone who says, yes, you can, and points them in the right direction. Secondly, we provide our students with academic supports. We give them those tutors. We help them with their homework. We provide additional literacy instruction, math instruction, certified teachers helping them, a whole range of different academic supports to help them achieve what they have to thrive in school. And then third, we provide enrichment activities for our students. The kinds of things that we provide all of our kids after school as well. Could be a music studio, could be a culinary class, could be a sports program, could be dance, could be anything. There's a whole range of activities. But a place where they can learn how to learn, just a place to have fun, a place to be a kid. That's what we do at the Boys and Girls Clubs. We provide our students with 700 hours of additional learning time. We're open every day for the younger kids until 6, for the older kids until 8 o'clock at night. That includes a warm dinner as well. Those 700 hours represent a 60% increase over what they get during the school day alone. All that additional time for learning, for love, for caring, for being part of a family. Now, we may not have, Google-like growth or Impossible Foods-like growth and some others, but we are a Silicon Valley growth story nevertheless. We've been growing steadily. We are now serving about 2,500 active members. And these aren't just kids who sign up once in a while. These are kids who are actively enrolled in our program. We're looking to grow again next year. And next year, we'll probably have closer to 3,000 kids who are actively participating in our program. And it's not hyper fast, but it's steady, it's continuous, and we're there for the community. In terms of where we serve, we are focused on the low-income neighborhoods of our community. So it's the East Palo Alto, Eastern Menlo Park, and the Eastern Redwood City area. We are hyper local. Every dollar we raise goes to support the programs and the youth in these areas. I know there's Boys and Girls Clubs of America you may hear about. That's a separate organization. We are completely independent, our own 501c3 right here in our area. You hear about other organizations, I won't name any names, but they have the schools in, East Palo Alto, Redwood City, Oakland, San Jose, or other college access programs that have programs in East Palo Alto, San Francisco, New Orleans, Washington, and that may be fine, but we think it's a more efficient business model to be located here and to concentrate as deeply as possible in our existing neighborhoods because there's still tremendous demand right here. We're serving about 25% of the students in these regions, and we want to go as deeply as possible. We're serving the kids with 3 clubhouses, 1 in each city, and 9 school sites. And the great thing about these school sites is they're basically satellite operations where we can access students. And from a business standpoint, it's super cost effective. We're not adding real estate. We're not building bricks and mortar. It's a variable cost model. We can pop one up in a few days or so to speak, in a few months and move on if we have to. We don't. We stay where we are. But it's a very cost effective way of growing. And that's what's allowed us to scale up and serve more students. And as we expand next year, our plan is to add 2 more school sites, not any more physical clubhouses. One of our other strengths as an organization is our leadership stability. If you look at all of our full-time staff, the ones who are really driving the organization, they've been with us an average of 5 years, which I think is pretty incredible in this environment to be able to claim that. And then if you look at the key layer, so me, I'm just overhead. I come here and talk and go away. And you've got my direct reports who provide leadership and so on. But like the folks who make the biggest difference in the organization, sort of the third layer in the organization, the ones who run our sites and manage our programs, interact directly with the parents and make sure the staff are working hard and doing the right things, they've been with us an average of 8 years. And that's really a key secret sauce of what's making our organization effective and why it's, I believe, a great investment opportunity. Another key differentiator about the Boys and Girls Clubs is that we serve all kids. There are a bunch of organizations that are selective about whom they serve. They find the high-performing kids, the ones with the greatest potential, and invest in them. And those are great programs. We support them, and we try to refer some of our stars to those programs. But there needs to be a program in the community that's designed to serve all kids. Doesn't matter where you start, you're welcome at the Boys and Girls Clubs. We'll take you wherever you are, and we'll try to help you achieve your potential. And my favorite thing about this organization, about the students we serve, is that we are not a charity. Do not feel sorry for our kids. They don't want sympathy. They don't want handouts. These are kids of amazing potential, strength, and resilience. They just want a chance. They want someone to believe in them, like Jeff said. They want someone to show them the way to be successful. I know for me, it was really easy. I just followed my big brother. I didn't have to think twice. The path was laid out. It was so simple. But for our students, a lot of them, it's not so simple. They don't have that obvious path on how to be successful. So they just want someone to guide them, to give them some pointers, to coach them, to believe in them, to give a pat in the back once in a while. But they'll do the work. They'll make it themselves. And in that spirit, I hope tonight you want to join me and the rest of the Boys and Girls Clubs and help create our vision of making this a great place for all of our kids to grow up. And if you do want to be part of this, I want to make you a deal. Just like our kids, we're not asking for a handout tonight. We want to make you a deal. I want your partnership. I want to ask you to invest in our programs. And I will work my hardest to make sure that we have the best programs, the most effective programs, with the most efficient, cost-effective, that we have the best staff in the right places, in the right positions within this organization, that we have a great board providing fantastic oversight, and that we're going to maximize the ROI of any dollar you put into us. So I ask you tonight, after you hear the stories and the pitches, to please join me and let's work together in partnership with shared values, and we can make our community a great place for all kids to grow up. Thank you very much.